Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, here we are. It's Saturday night, and you know what that means? Time for our Saturday night seance. I thought, we'd gather tonight. Here, I'm going to pull a chair up for you guys. I was brought up in the old-time spiritualist church tradition. And on Saturday nights, a lot of times we would gather at the spiritualist church, and we'd have chairs, just like these wooden chairs. We'd put them in a circle, and the mediums would gather. We'd gather around the medium in a circle, and we'd go into trance, or the mediums would go. I wasn't a full-fledged medium then, but I'd watch the mediums, and they'd go into trance, and the spirits would come through. It was always interesting. So, for those of you who are new here, that's where our Saturday night seance comes from. It comes out of the spiritualist church tradition. I am so glad you guys are here. Well, I don't have my red light tonight, so we're going to work in dimmer light. Hopefully you guys can see me. But I'm going to have to turn off, we've got to turn off these overhead lights. When you do channeling, it's good to have softer light. Many mediums are very sensitive to light because when the spirits manifest through them, they use ectoplasmic power, which is very photosensitive. And so, it's better to do spiritual work in darker environments for this type of work. So, I want you guys to pull up your chairs. I got an extra chair here for you. Make yourself at home. Join our seance circle. Well, I'm going to get ready and go into trance here. Let's see if I take this light down, if that helps a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, hold on, guys. Oh, it's kind of dark. Maybe you can see me now. We might have to get another light in here. Hold on just a second. We're going to work out something. Okay, I think we're back here. Hopefully you guys can see me. I have just a soft light on. Lately I've been working with the red light because that's the ideal for mediums. But as I'm traveling, I forgot to bring my red light bulb. But that's okay. I always say work with what you got. I think this lighting is soft enough now that I can go into trance without too many complications. So, gather around, let's have our seance circle, okay? Before we begin tonight, I thought we'd just do a brief prayer to open the spirit doorway to the spirit world. Let's just take a moment, let's just center ourselves. Mother, Father, God, we thank you for this night of gathering. We ask that we be open to receive the blessings of the spirit world, and that those loved ones, guides, and teachers might come and uplift us and inspire us tonight. We welcome all of those beloved ones in spirit. We ask you to gather in our circle tonight and join us in this time of meeting. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for your blessings. May we all be under your guidance and light always. So mote it be. Amen. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go into trance. I'll see you when I get back. Oh, this is Fletcher here. Give us just a moment while we get to control. We've got to control the medium's vibration. Hold on just a moment. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're in the body. Oh, y'all be looking good out there tonight. A lot of soul glow. We're drawing in a high vibration tonight, and we think we're going to have a good night with the spirits. So, I'll be stepping from the medium's body. This is Fletcher, over and out. Many years ago, I attended a seance.
I remembered it was one of my early days of spiritual exploration. As we sat in the circle, I saw a voice, I heard a voice, and saw a form materialize. There was a small cloud that formed. It was a cloud of ectoplasm. It at first looked like an amoeba shape down near the floor. Slowly it formulated into a tallish shape, more cylindrical. Then in the middle of the form I saw a face emerge. I heard a voice speaking. The strange thing was it looked at me and it said, "Welcome to the circle tonight." I had no idea who it was speaking to me, but I can tell you as clearly as you hear my voice tonight, there was a voice that spoke through that ectoplasmic form. And I found out later it was a spirit guide of a medium. It was a man named Paddy, and he had a Cockney accent. And he said, "Oh lad," he said, "don't be afraid of the spirit world. The spirit world is meant to guide you and bless you and protect you." And the voice went on and told me, it said, "You will yourself someday work in the spiritual work of mediumship." I was a young lad in my early 20s at that time. I had no belief in really the spirit world, and the idea of me to become a true medium seemed beyond me. But as the years went on, the words of Paddy spoke true to me, and I found myself going deeper and deeper into the work of spiritualism. For those of you who are young out there, do not discredit yourself and say, "Me, I'm only 20 years old. How could I do spiritual work?" Try to understand that it is our world that calls you. It is not a decision that you make or one that you enter into on a whim. The work of a medium is that which is a sacred duty and a calling. This medium who allows me to channel through him, he has received the calling from our world, and we are pleased that he has answered yes. It is because of this medium that I am able to speak to you now. He allows me to use his body as an instrument that I can manifest. Some of you out there said, "Oh, I'm terrified. I should never let a spirit speak through me." Do not hold on to trepidation, but understand that the spirit world will not harm you. It must be a cooperation between our world and your world. Two worlds unite in the agreement of each side. We wish to work with mediums, but we also wish for mediums to work with us. It is never a case of a forced will, it is simply an agreement and an understanding that occurs. For those of you who are on the brink of opening yourselves to mediumship, you may be very surprised to find out how really painless it all is. Many mediums have a fear that if they will open themselves to channeling, that they will not be able to come back from the trance state, that we will somehow control and manipulate them forever. This is simply not true. First of all, those of us who dwell in the spirit world, we are more interested in doing the work of God rather than controlling your life. We are pleased when we have an instrument that we can work through, somebody that we can speak through in order to help guide others. But if we were to try to maintain control of a medium for longer than is necessary, we should damage the body's nervous system. This is a sin in sense in our world. It would be forbidden. And any spirit that would attempt such a thing would find himself never being able to channel through a medium, at least not for a long time, until they learn the lesson. So try to understand that our world is very sensitive to your world, and as your world becomes more sensitive to our world, there will be a partnership that will occur. In the spirit world, there are many beings waiting for service. If you decide to take up the service of working with our world, know that you will have many people who will be eager to assist you in your progress and development. Over here we have spirit doctors who look after mediums' bodies to make sure they are not damaged. We have ectoplasmic sculptors who assist in the development of spirit forms. We have angels who guide and protect all parties involved. We have ascended masters here who are older than time itself, those who have seen thousands of lifetimes, countless really, and who can, in a sense, guide all of us in the progress that we're trying to achieve. The human soul goes through many evolutions, and in your current life it's very easy for you to say, Through me I am not qualified to do the work of spirit. But do not be so judgmental, for if you are being called by our will, we will also give you the ability to do the work. The spirit world is not far away from you, it is very close. The difference is that of vibration. And if you work in harmony with your higher self, and you work in harmony with our world, we receive the blessing of the spirit world, and our vibration and your vibration will come together. This is what channeling is. It is allowing your vibration to flow in harmony with our vibration. And when that harmony occurs, it allows for a merging of consciousness. In a sense, we do not control the medium as much as that we blend with the medium. The medium blends with us, and it allows us to be manifest. It truly is a partnership. As we said, there is two worlds. There are two worlds. There's the spirit world, and there is the earth realm. And they are not separate, but much closer than you can understand. Over here, everything is ruled by the power of vibration. The higher vibration, the more power. The lower the vibration, the less power. This accounts for why many people experiencing hauntings. The hauntings, the ghosts of the hauntings are spirit beings, but they oscillate at a low vibration. It is that low vibration that keeps them chained to the earth and chained to their karmic destiny and their actions. This is why many people report seeing specters, and they'll say, I saw a horrible ghost, he was bloody and looked horrified. Your spirit body is an exact duplicate of your material body. And if you should leave your material body, you will retain all the elements of it in your spirit body until you come into the light. When you cross over into the spirit world, you're instantly healed. You become whole again, and your mind gradually clears and you lose the trauma of the earth realm. Try to understand that the earth realm is full of darkness and trauma. There's much degradation, pain, and suffering. None of this is found in the spirit world. It is true that there are sorrows in the spirit world and pain, but the sorrows and the pain are that of the soul longing for growth, longing for closeness with the Godhead. It is a God that governs us, but we prefer the term infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is the totality of all it is. It is true that you rest in God and God rests in you, but that connection is much more closely aligned when you are seeking the Godhead. Those who do not wish to have God in their life, it is not forced upon them. The spirit world is a place where many souls come. Those who are unprepared for the spirit world are gradually introduced into the reality of the new life. When you first come here, you may find yourself walking on a beach or in a beautiful meadow. Not many arrive here on streets of gold with angels singing. This is a myth that has been created. But you might think of returning to the spirit world as a gradual awakening of your true self. Perhaps in your earthly life you have crossed through a period of time where you have felt that you have lost yourself, perhaps a great trauma, a long and drawn-out terrible experience. And when it is all over, you say, I feel relief. I feel as if I have come back to myself. It is as if you are awakened. This occurs in your earthly life. And transition to the spiritual world is no different. In the spiritual world, you will awaken gradually to your true self. Much of your true self is closed off upon the earth plane. It is because your consciousness is hammered and hampered by the material reality, where you forget who you really are at your core. At the core of your very being, you are spirit soul, a child of infinite intelligence. You possess all the joy and knowledge of this world, but you have temporarily forgotten it in order to complete your earthly mission. But when your earthly mission is through, then you shall return to our world, and you shall come to understand who you truly are. Fletch is asking me to step from the body. There's another who wishes to speak tonight. Thank you for hearing my message tonight and meeting with me. My name is Alfred.
Oh, I think we're in the water. Oh, my dears, can you hear me out there? This is Rose. Oh, it's such a blessing to be here with all of you tonight. Do you know, when I listen to Alfred speak, I cannot help but be amazed. This man has so much spiritual knowledge. And you see, it proves the point that nothing is ever lost over here. You may backslide, you may leave your spiritual knowledge and, like Alfred, drift into the world of alcohol and drugs and lose yourself. But your own very essence, the soul, is never lost. And I can tell you that when I first arrived over here, I also had that sense that he spoke of gradual awakening. You start to say, oh my, all these things, somehow I already know them. Interestingly, most people that arrive in the spirit world are not shocked by the reality. But for those who are, there is a gentleness that is brought to them, shall we say. For example, we never let a soul come into the full light immediately, for it would overwhelm the senses. But they're gradually brought closer and closer to truth and to light. And what Alfred said about infinite intelligence is so very true. Do you know that each of you are very much loved? You are loved by God. You are loved by the spirit world. You are loved by infinite intelligence. There is not one part of you that is not loved. Many of you on earth say, oh, Rose, I've been so naughty. I cannot be loved. My dear, it's true that in the earthly world people judge. People will look upon you and say, oh, you're a good person, you're a bad person. But the earthly judgments do not last. For once you enter into this vibration, things become very clear. Now, that's not to say that there are not circumstances that do follow one. For if you live a life of evil, you will not suddenly attain the Godhead. No. You will do as many souls do and find yourself drawn to darker realms. Know that these purgatorial places, though, are places for the soul to grow. When you're among the evil ones, if you, for example, choose evil, and you end up in the realm of darkness, eventually you'll tire. You'll say, I don't like being around these evil people. I don't like their negativity. Their vibration is so low. One of the things that will happen here is you'll become acutely aware of vibratory reality. And that means you'll feel and sense energies in a way that many of you on earth do not at the moment. But when you arrive in the spirit world and you're acutely aware of vibrational energies, it suddenly awakens one to say, oh my, I wish to have a higher vibration. I don't want to be part of the lower vibration. And eventually, no matter how evil one is, eventually they will tire of that vibration. So be of good cheer, my dears, and know that, as you know we've said before, the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul, here or hereafter. But I must say, as Alfred has said, you would do better to prepare for your journey to the spirit world, rather than wait and just get here and try to figure it out. You see, when you come over, your soul will glow with a brightness. And my dears, it's not a myth. People say, oh, everybody in heaven's equal. No, no, my dears. There are beings here of an immense beauty and light. And when I inquired of an angel, I said, oh my, look at that person. They glow brighter than a diamond. I was told by that angel who I asked that of, he said, Rose, do you not know that all souls can attain that glory? But it must be worked at. Nothing is given freely. To grow in the spirit world takes focus and concentration. And many of you know my experience of when I first got my home here. I thought I was going to get a mansion in glory, as my vicar back home in the Church of England told me. He said, oh, Rose, someday you'll go to the mansion of glory. And so when I arrived here, I thought, oh, I have a mansion of glory. And I asked the angels, I said, oh, do take me to my mansion. And they said, of course we will, my dear.
And they took me out on a little bit of a stroll through a beautiful meadow. I said, oh my, we're going to my home. But I looked far in the distance. I could see no home. And I thought to myself, oh my dears, where is my home? And they said, Rose, we're taking you there, don't worry. Well, then we got to the middle of a beautiful field. It did have lovely grass, my dear, and the skies here are beyond anything you can imagine. And all that existed was a little doorstep, a marble doorstep. And they said, we're at your home, Rose. I said, my dear, there's only a piece of marble here on the earth. And they said, Rose, it's the beginning of your home. I said, what do you mean the beginning of my home? They're going to build me a home. I thought I'd already have one. I spent all my earthly life going to church. I thought I'd get a home. They said, Rose, it doesn't work like that over here, my dear. You create your own reality by your own consciousness. I said, oh dear, what does that mean? And they said, imagine, dear, what type of home you would have. I said, oh yes, I can see it. They said, now, make it appear. I said, how do you do that? They said, the focus of your mind. I said, well, I can't do that. They said, no, let's not overwhelm you. They said, I wish you to focus on having a doorway. What would the door to your home look like? I said, oh, it'd be made of beautiful English oak with a big brass knocker. It'd have big brass ornaments and be carved of the finest oak. They said, focus on that, Rose. And as I focused it, I could see it and taste it. And they said, now open your eyes, my dear. I closed my eyes trying to focus on the image. And when I opened my eyes, there was a door frame on that doorstep that had a door. That was all that was there, nothing else in the home. But it was a beginning. And so I learned that through the power of the mind, all things come into creation in our world. In your world, there is very similar principles. That is the principle of attraction. And that means that you can draw to yourself things that are meant to be blessings in your life. But you must raise your consciousness. And this is why we caution all of you. Do not waste your time in alcohol and drugs and lowering your vibration and being bad behaved persons. Those things only slow down your progress. So if you keep your mind and heart and body in alignment with the highest and the best, then you will be able to manifest in your life much more blessings in the material world. And if you can practice it in your current life, oh my dears, once you arrive over here, you have your mansion of glory in no time. So understand that the consciousness is what creates all reality. And Alfred was speaking words of truth when he talked about how that, he was being called by the spirit world. All of you here tonight are being called. If it were not so, you would not be drawn here to this gathering. This medium is so gracious to allow us to speak through him and to help you. But it is a two-way process. It is our world and it is your world. So do not think that we spirits can do everything for you. Oh no, you must do your part. But we will be glad to help you, my dears. Fletcher just interrupted me. He said the medium's power is growing weak. So we shall not talk tax organism anymore. And be stepping from the body. But before I go, please remember me. Call upon me. Say, Rose, come and help me. Alfred, come and help me. And surely we will come and help you. Oh, but there are many more than just us. If you should call upon me one day and you get a different voice that answers you, don't worry, my dear. Sometimes even I get a bit taxed and I have to send people to help in my place. But know that I will come as soon to you. But in the meantime, you will not be forgotten to our world. Each of you have a guide just waiting in the wings to help you. You have angels, more than 1 million angels over here. I've lost count. I used to say, how many angels are there? They said, Rose, there are more angels and more spirit guides than you can count in the grains of the sand of a beach. I said, oh my, it's a lot of people. You know that our world will help you. Oh, I feel the power fading, and so I'll be leaving our medium's body. But in my parting, let me tell each of you I love you, and I send each of you my greetings. The power is fading. I need
Hey, TVs. It's Psychic Bob. Well, I'm back, and I have to tell you, I love channeling. I love to trans-channel. When I channel, the spirit people come through me, and it really uplifts my energy. And I can tell you, talking to heaven is a good experience. I hope you've enjoyed our seance tonight. Listen, if you've enjoyed this, pop over to my website at robert-hickman.com. I'll have the links below for that in the info box. But I have wonderful books over there that you can get to help your spiritual development. You might want to check out my book, Messages from Rose. It tells about my work as a trance channel, as a medium, working with my spirit guide Rose and all the adventures I had. So definitely pop over to my website, pick up a copy, get one for a friend. It's great reading now that we're getting into spring soon. You'll be taking spring break and bring a spiritual book along. You guys must listen. Thank you for being here. If you want to help Psychic Bob out, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, hit subscribe, be part of our channel. And for those of you who are interested in having a private session with me, I am a full-time professional psychic medium, and you can contact me at my website link below. It's got my office number. If you want to call and connect, we'll get you on the schedule, 571-483-2112. And give me a call. I'd love the chance to sit down and see what the spirit world has for you. You guys are the best. I love you. I'm sending blessings to you. Keep it here at Spirit Show. Tomorrow, we've got our live show, The Witching Hour, at 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. It's going to be a live broadcast. It's going to be me, Lady Angela, Lord Tony, and we're doing a special ritual. It's our chalice ritual. It's going to be the flaming chalice ritual. I've put over on our Facebook page, Order of the Purple Cord at facebook.com. I'll put the link to that below. But go over there. You can print out the ritual, copy it, print it out, and join us tomorrow for a live candle ritual. And we're going to be teaching some more about candle magic and working with spiritual power. And we'll be taking questions live from all of you. So I hope you'll join us then. You guys are the best. I love you. Sending blessings. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Witching Hour. And until then, may you always blessed